Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a potential future super team that could take the Middle Eastern region and indeed the world by storm. Everybody's been talking about this one since the three players I'm going to talk about have had very impressive results recently, and we're going to do that. We're going to talk about that while watching a couple of ranked games. The first one of these is from Nwpo POV. He's playing with Rw9 and Hisoka, and the next one will be the same three players but from Rw9 POV. And no disrespect to Hisoka, but he's not in the theoretical super team that we're going to be talking about today. Of course, the third player, apart from Nwpo and Rw9, is Kiileerrz, Rw9 twin brother. That's right, if you didn't know, Rw9 and Kiileerrz are both twins. They're the best twins in the game. I don't think there's going to be any higher rated twins than these two, and the idea of them two teaming up with Nwpo is really quite insane to think about. So there's a lovely little free jump there by Nwpo. Ceiling reset, double tap, nothing for the great Nwpo. This is just automatic for him. No big deal. But they're not just mechanical. Take a look at this. Double half flip on the diagonal. They're turning back to net to get the coverage, and Hisoka goes straight down the middle of the kickoff. I've been talking about that one recently in my RLCS Pros are trash at kickoffs video. You guys missed that one. You probably want to go check it out. If you want some kickoff advice for your 3v3 games, yeah, look at these guys. They're not just mechanical beasts. They're also more intelligent than every RLCS team in the world at the moment, because they've just done a kickoff that I haven't seen in RLCS ever. Well, at least not intentionally. Maybe a team's accidentally done that, but yeah, these guys really are on a different level. Now, why are everybody talking about them? It's not because of that kickoff in ranked. It's because of their tournament results. Mainly Nwpo. He's had the biggest impact at the end of the spring split. Rw9 and Kiileerrz were too young to play in RLCS, but Nwpo, he turned 15 just in time to play the spring split, and that was a crazy outcome, because he teamed up with Venom and Ali, and suddenly they're the best team out, apart from Falcons in the region. They were second in the spring split. They even managed to come out on top of Veloce, who are going to be at the World's Wildcard for the Middle East. And it was mainly because of Nwpo's play. I think Ali and Venom, two proven entities in the Middle East as well. But this guy Nwpo is the real deal. He is a complete machine. He just looks perfect mechanically, and I think his positioning is also very good. Very, very high level stuff. He brought the best out of his teammates in the spring split as well, taking it to Falcons. And on top of that, as if that wasn't already enough of a reason to be a fan of this guy, he then went and teamed up with Mosin and Zizonix in place of Ams, who was on holiday. Ams had to miss a tournament that happened recently in the Middle East. Hold on, I'm going to rewind very quickly. Let's pause. Is there anything this guy can't do? Did he just do the wave dash mechanic, the no jump wave dash mechanic, as he came off the wall there? It's just crazy. I mean, I just picked a random rank game here. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I'll tell you guys exactly what happened, and we'll go back to talking about Nwpo's insane results. But actually what happened in this recording is I didn't know that they were going to do that kickoff strategy, and it threw me off completely, so I had to restart because I lost my train of thought, forgot what I was talking about. We had to go again. So that's how I knew that one was coming, but everything happens after this I haven't seen before. So just a little behind the scenes there for you guys. Yeah, they really are bringing some crazy plays, even in just a random ranked game that I picked from ball chasing. It's the only game I could find of Rw9 and Nwpo playing together recently. Couldn't find one with Kiileerrz, unfortunately. I'd love to see the three play together. I'd love to have some replays of that. If there are any, just let me know. Like I was saying, Ams had to go on holiday, and he missed a event that just happened in the Middle Eastern region, $25,000 event, and because of that, Nwpo decided to sub in for Ams and team up with Mosin and Zizonix, and yeah, they just won the whole thing. So he proved that he was good enough to elevate Ali and Venom to second best team in the region during the spring split, and then he teams up with Zizonix and Mosin, who have had a very good season overall with Ams, finishing third in the overall points for the season. And yeah, beats Falcons once, beats F16, which is Rw9 and Kiileerrz team with Basil, twice I believe, and then just yeah, shows that it doesn't really matter what team you put him on, he's going to be a contender. So now that begs the question, should he team with Rw9 and Kiileerrz, who in a recent Saudi Arabian LAN event really, I think, impressed everybody worldwide who saw that one by giving Falcons a bigger run for their money than anyone else did. And that is a huge achievement these days. You know, just beating Falcons seems impossible most of the time. So whoever can play them the closest really is to be talked about. And Kiileerrz playing with Basil, they took Falcons all the way. They really, you know, I think impressed a ton. By the way, what on earth is happening in this game in the background? How is this just a random Nwpo rank game? I've not watched this. I didn't check this, but it doesn't matter. This guy's so good. You can actually just pick any of his games, and they all look like this. I'm not even joking. He is just that good. Every double tap, completely automatic. Flip resets, automatic. He is just playing a different game. And these mechanical young players coming out of the Middle East, they're terrifying. You know, Rw9 hasn't been in the spotlight here because we're watching the whole thing in Nwpo POV, but you guys all know what Rw9 can do as well, and he's a much more defensive player also. So, you know, you just wonder what could Nwpo do if he's teaming with Rw9 and Kiileerrz unleashed. I mean, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. 4 goals for Nwpo. They were all absolute bangers in a 6-1 win in Supersonic Legend ranked on the EU server. If that wasn't enough to convince you of his skill, then definitely just go and look up more of his videos, more show matches and tournaments that he's played in. You will never cease to be impressed. The kid's crazy. Now, let's get into the second game here. Watch Rw9 POV as we continue to talk about the super team that would, I think, have the entire world trembling. So, same team for this game, Rw9, Soka, and Nwpo. Now, it's worth mentioning these games were just played, I think, a day ago, or maybe 2 days ago. I'm not sure if it would probably have been 2 days ago, although they played late into the night, so it registers as 1 day ago. So yeah, we're on Rw9 POV here. See an infield passes to Soka with the underside of his car. Rw9, one of the most impressive defensive players that we've ever seen in the world of Rocket League 1v1. I think himself and Lion Blaze have shown goal line defense that no one else can really rival historically. And he's no slouch in offense either. And he's proven on LAN, funnily enough. The fact that Kiileerrz and Rw9 were able to take down Falcons recently, I think, yeah, 2 times. They beat Falcons 2 times in the most recent online Saudi Arabian event. So they beat Falcons twice. Couldn't take down Nwpo, Mawson and Zizonix, but they were able to beat Falcons. So that's ridiculous. And they played them pretty close on LAN as well, while beating everyone else that attended. They were all RLCS caliber teams coming out of the Middle Eastern region. Rw9, Kiileerrz and Basil took down everybody else. Falcons were the only team who they couldn't beat on LAN. So yeah, these guys, they're pretty much brand new to this level of competition, but already they're putting in results and getting respect. So yeah, it's inevitable. It's absolutely inevitable that whatever team Rw9 ends up on next season will be a contender. Whatever team Kiileerrz ends up on, I really hope they team together. That they'll be a contender, and whatever team Nwpo ends up on, they'll be a contender as well. Everybody's hoping that Middle East will get more than 1 spot at majors next year, myself included. I think the region is already deserving of more than 1 spot. I think this season they would have done well with more than 1 spot at majors. The second best team in the fall split was O1 Esports. That's Mawson, Zizonix and AMS. My goodness, what a passing play, what a finish as well by Rw9 there. Yeah, Mawson, Zizonix and AMS, 2/3 of the team that just won with Nwpo over Falcons and F16. F16 is Rw9, Basil, Kiileerrz. Yeah, they were the second best team in the Middle East in the fall split. I think they would have done well at the fall major. Probably not making top 8, but I think they would have impressed a lot of people. And they would not have gone home with no wins to their name. I can promise you that. Second split, it was Scythes. That's Fahad, IX, and Evil. Again, a team that I think would have done well at the Winter Major. I think they would have gone pretty close with anyone in any of the groups, because the group stages were pretty close and pretty closely contested. Pretty good fights even from the lower rated teams. I think Scythes would have been a great team to see there. And Spring Split, you know, if there were 2 teams from Middle East, you got Kole, you got Nwpo, Ali, and Venom. And again, I think them, or even Veloce, who were 3rd, would have been ready to compete on a world stage. Now you're just adding in Rw9 and Kiileerrz, who have just now become old enough to play RLCS. Middle East is just getting better and better. The region has just finished its first online season of RLCS. I think they're already impressive at a world level. We haven't seen that at the wildcard, but we will, and I can't wait for it, because I think, you know, if you just watch these games, it's clear to see that these players are ready to compete at a world level. It's not just a one-team region. Everybody's saying that it's a one-team region because Falcons won every single regional. I think that speaks more to how good Falcons are than to how bad the region is. But a lot of people would rather take the latter storyline as copium for whatever other region they're a fan of, and trying to prepare themselves for the inevitable, which is Middle Eastern dominance in the future for Rocket League. If they just keep grinding, they can just figure out rosters that work long term. Right now, a lot of team hopping, as is inevitable, not just with a new region, but with a region that is delegated only one spot at majors. I mean, a lot of these teams, they have to switch, because what's the point in sticking out with a roster when you're out of the running for Worlds? And when you're out of the running for Wildcard after 2 splits are over, you might as well change teams. If Middle East were given 2 spots at majors or more, and given more spots at Wildcard, for example, I think you'd see a lot more stability with rosters, and teams that are sitting 3rd, 4th, 5th in the standings would probably stick together, at least 2/3 of them, rather than switching out as much as we have seen. Yeah, good shots from Rw9 all game long. Underdunk for 3-0, hat-trick secured. Yeah, he's just a very consistent player. Very different style from Nwpo. Nwpo is just an absolute mad lad, just zooming around. Kind of like very much reminds me of Ahmad, the way that he plays. Just flip resetting at everything, reading every bounce and moving at Mach 10. Whereas Rw9, a lot more reminiscent of Khaled in the way he plays, or TRK perhaps, a bit more controlled, a bit more reactive, but you need a balance of that. You can't have 3 of you can have 3 of the same type of player, but I think it's good to have a balance, because tendencies players prefer, some players prefer to turn on every ball and just without thinking go as quickly as they can. Other players prefer to wait and see if it's absolutely safe to go before committing, and it's shown, we've seen many times in the past, it's good to have a balance of that. Some people say that you can't have 2 third men, you can't have 2 first men in a team, but that's a bit too rigid for my opinion. It's more in terms of, I think the better way to think about it is tendencies and preferences. It's easier for a team to play if they have one guy who prefers to sit back when he's 50-50, equidistant to the ball with a teammate, both moving supersonic. I mean, those are the situations where it becomes obvious whose turn it is to go, when you've got a guy who turns on everything and a guy who never goes if one of his teammates can turn. Yeah, I think they'd work well together. I think Kiileerrz and Rw9 have got great synergy. They've shown in recent tournaments. They've finished 2nd place in both of the tournaments that have happened since both of the big tournaments. One was a LAN, one was online, that happened in the Middle Eastern region since the spring split concluded. And Nwpo has won the most recent one, as well as finishing 2nd in the spring split with a totally different roster. So crazy, absolutely crazy team to think. What do you guys in the comments think? Do you guys think it would be cool to see Rw9, Kiileerrz and Nwpo teaming together, the youngest super team of all time, maybe the most mechanical super team of all time, I would probably say as well. And that is something that you can't just say at a whim these days. There's so many ridiculous mechanical teams, but I really do think if Rw9, Kiileerrz and Nwpo team together, that would be the most mechanical team in the world. I think it would be a contender in the Middle East for sure. Falcons would have their work cut out for them, and I really don't think that Falcons would win all 9 if this team existed. But I don't think Falcons are going to win all 9 regionals next year anyway. I think it's going to be harder. Obviously, they did it progressively in more difficult ways throughout the season. 1 lower bracket run in the winter, 2 lower bracket runs in the spring. How long? Maybe 3 lower bracket runs next year, and then eventually a loss. Who knows? But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If I find any replays of Nwpo and Rw9 and Kiileerrz playing together, I'll be sure to show them to you guys. I actually just picked these 2 without watching them from balls chasing, and yeah, that's just the quality you get from these guys. But anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed watching them play these ranked games. I think it's an interesting topic. Going to be watching their careers and watching their off seasons very closely since RLCS is finished for them. No London, no London major, no wildcard, no Worlds. So definitely going to be paying attention to those Middle Eastern events, and I think you guys should as well. These guys they're going to be something you have to pay attention to eventually. So might as well enjoy it right from the get-go. Again, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great time and have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.